Well, I thought I'd do a little film on my backyard blacksmithing setup. Just set this up this past weekend and made a few tools with it. Uh, I've never done blacksmithing before. Uh, Obviously, what I'm doing is really super simple and pretty easy. So basically, my parts of my forge here is this is pretty much all recycled parts. I did buy a few things, but mostly parts from the scrapyard. This is a brake drum forge. I found a brake drum at the scrapyard. They're super easy to find. There's a million of them there, and they're all different sizes and shapes. I found one. I got lucky and found one that fit this flange under here. The bolt holes fit this flange under here, so you can see the bottom of the brake drum sticking out of the bottom of my steel table here, and that this flange right here bolts right to it, to the brake drum, and then that allows me to put all of this iron pipe in there. This is 2-inch iron pipe. I then just attached a muffler hose, I guess, flexible muffler pipe here. It's all metal, and was probably overdoing it because it doesn't get that hot down here. But I was looking everywhere and was having trouble finding 2-inch hose anywhere, so that's what I came up with. Probably a little pricier than I needed to be, of course, but I got that at Auto Parts store, and that works great. It's a little extra, got some extra length on it, so I could have some flexibility in the way I set this up. But other than that, it's just a simple table. I just found some pieces of steel and a flat piece of plate steel that I just welded some angle iron to the side so that I wouldn't have, my fuel falling off the sides. And then it just has a little grate that I made. This is a flat piece of metal that I drilled some holes in, and that allows ashes to fall through, but not my fuel, because otherwise there's a 2-inch hole down there. And so that allows me to, for my fuel stays here, ashes can fall through, and most importantly, air can come up. So the way this works is you just put your fuel. I'm using charcoal, actually. You of course can use coal, is the more traditional way of doing it, but charcoal works as well. It uses a fair amount of charcoal, so I did a few hours of forging and used probably 2/3 of a 20-pound bag of charcoal. Again, it was my first time doing it, so maybe I was a little inefficient, maybe I was really efficient, I'm not sure which. The hose, or my flexible muffler pipe, comes over here and attaches to this old Champion forge blower, which I got from a local tool dealer, and it's great. It's a hand cranked version. There's also a belted version that you could hook a motor to, or whatever, but you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but the air is going through there and it's blowing up some ashes. Obviously I don't have a fire in there right now, but it's blowing ashes, so it puts pretty good air through there. You don't actually have to turn it very hard, so it's not exactly a workout. And it had to do some, it was pretty nasty sounding when I first got it. There was a lot of, one of the fan blades was hitting the sides, and one of the gears inside was loose, and there was no oil in it. And so I just kind of cleaned it up and replaced some screws and things like that, but now it works great. And one thing, it doesn't make very much noise except that it vibrates, and so it vibrates the tin roof of my little shop here. I just have this underneath a roof here, right on the edge, so yeah, it protects. I can work in here in the rain, but it will get some weather exposure. Then right over here to the right, I have my anvil, thanks to my Uncle Johnny, and I just have it sitting up on a stump, and it works great. Still has need to do some work to this edge. Need to weld that up and grind it flat again, but works pretty good. Got a couple of hammers and made a few tools. I made this is just to you know, a little rake for my charcoal and stuff, but that's all there is to it. Oh yeah, the one thing here on the piping, my bottom cap here just works as a clean out for my ashes. So my ashes could fall down here from above and collect down in this whole section here can fill up with ash. So that means I can go for a while before I'd ever fill it up. And I have not cleaned this out, so we'll see how much comes out. And yeah, just collect a little bit of trash there. It's not hot, so I can just toss it. And you can just put it back on. And that's all there is to it. It does a good job of getting my metal nice and hot, but one thing I've found nice about it is the heat stays pretty darn local. It hasn't really spread too much. I mean, I can even touch the side of my table without it being too hot. So that's a good thing. I guess if I was running a hotter fire or a larger fire, then obviously I wouldn't be able to do that. But that's my blacksmith forge and blacksmith setup. Unfortunately, I have my chopping block right next to my anvil, which is a problem because I get wood chips all over my blacksmithing area, which, you know, could be a problem. But I have a wooden floor anyway, so I don't guess it matters too much. So far, I haven't had anything dangerous falling, and I wouldn't have thought to do a wooden floor, but saw one of the episodes of the Woodwright Shop, and Peter Ross, the blacksmith that works with Roy Underhill, had him a wooden floor, and he's a professional blacksmith, so I figured if he could have a wooden floor, then I certainly could. Makes things a lot easier than having to pour concrete or something like that. And this was a really unlevel ground right here, so I just leveled it with my wood. Thanks for watching.